Hey guys, I'm Round One Fight, and this is my reaction to Blade vs. Buffy, Marvel vs. Buffy the Vampire Slayer Death Battle. Pretty excited and nervous for this one, mainly because I really want Blade to win, and I kind of hate Buffy. Like, just generally do not find her media good, and find her media good, and I find her kind of an annoying character. And Blade, I think, is really cool, and all that. Sorry if my voice sounds weird. I've had a throat thing in the past few days, so I'll probably be talking softly and not talking as much this time around. Um, anyway, this one seems pretty long, so let's get into it.
Blade versus Buffy, the Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, there's more people.
And
like,
it's our job to analyze their
more
weapons,
actors and
armor,
such.
and skills to find out who would win a death battle. They are known by many names: Revenant, Vortolak, Nosferatu, vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead
This goes to
demons
show
are
how
in for
Dracula is
death.
pretty much the most
greatest foe of
iconic
those
villain in
who
history.
stalk the night is
Or
the
fictional,
one
I
who
guess.
can walk the day. Blade.
Yeah, that costume
is that
kinda
really his
sucked.
costume? Hang on. Now there's a man
I'm
who
curious
doesn't
how far
file
their
his taxes.
semi-competent will
Blade is
go
one
with
of
him.
the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze. And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously,
Yeah, it's
nobody
kinda
talks
funny.
about this. Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself. Even Blade's birth was hard.
100
Just
professional
as the
judge over
Eric
here likes
Brooks's
I
mother
Am
was in
Legend,
labor,
Real Boy
her
thing.
attendant
Make that new
doctor
movie,
turned
Marvel.
out to be the vampire Deacon Frost. And he
I Am
drank her
Legend is a
blood
pretty
right
good.
before she gave
Well,
birth.
I'm
This
assuming he means
infused
it.
Eric with Frost's vampiric
Also, Boy
blood,
Thing is
turning him half
a good
human,
reference. I
half
love that little
vampire, a dampier,
scrungly,
giving him a ton of vampy powers,
yeah,
but
that's the one I'm searching for.
none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight. Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good. Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can
Read
deflect
that issue,
Cyclops'
actually.
light-speed optic blasts, and his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count von Stadt's castle exploding. He can heal small wounds
Though Blade's been
immediately and
incapacitated via
sniff out
stabbing, his healing factor has power through impalement and secondary material like Blade the series and the Blade anime.
His
Oh,
victims of magical energies. After studying the ways of Hong Kong kung fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah, yes, the Rufus
blood-sucking
from Street
things,
Fighter
magical
School of
energy
Kung
summoning,
Fu.
represents
While the
mortality,
only martial art
regeneration,
he's been stated
berserk
to know
mode,
is
and martial
Krav
arts.
Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the
Wonder
full
what
scope of his
berserk
martial arts
mode is.
ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes. By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman. Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula
He
is
was really
real.
cool
Why
in
aren't you
Avengers
doing
Assemble.
anything about this?
Like early
He's
seasons,
right
he just had a real
there.
good design.
Forced to murk his surrogate dad, Blade would have to wage his war alone, nursing a wound within him that would never heal, a hole that could never be filled. Not with that attitude.
Blade,
Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable.
Magical and adamantium swords, knives, throwing sticks, and throwing glaives, blade nunchaku, armor, firearms, anti-hypnosis goggles, flame gauntlets, edge of Intrados, don't know what that is, breathing gun, they're probably gonna have that not work, but still, boy thing, oh, that's pretty notable, okay, curious where that's gonna go.
He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations. Handguns, assault rifles, and
This is
explosives
about where
make
the
up brunt
preview
of
ended.
his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katana. Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium. Specifically, secondary adamantium.
a variant of the metal that is mass producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords.
Yeah.
His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out.
In the same fight with the breathing gun harmed him, Cosmic Ghost Rider defended attacks from Captain Marvel that could melt through a star.
Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires.
Wait,
while
let me see
skydiving,
something real quick.
Like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Huh.
Blade took everything
It
he
didn't
had
mention
and
the
fought his
holy
one-man
weakness,
war for almost
so I wonder what that's
100
going.
years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales.
While this was the Insomniac version of Miles, Insomniac Spider-Man is on par with mainline Spider-Man in comic book crossovers. Oh, they're scaling him to Spider-Man? That's cool.
Who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the
Sheesh.
spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness, a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm
And there's an ad. Sorry.
him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does
Yeah,
make him even
that might
better
be
at killing
damning.
vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However,
Are they gonna go through game
beyond signs
abilities,
of
or-
vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Really good analysis. Yeah, that was great. Okay, so before I move on, so they're scaling him to Spider-Man like Peter and Miles. Gives him various megatons things, which I think is actually fair. Going that far, I've always thought Blade had a lot more leeway to argue that than other people did. Light speed, obviously. Soul-harming swords, mist, shape-shifting, all that stuff. Various hacks. Curious why they didn't mention any of his video game abilities. A bit nervous in that regard. I didn't really see any potential weaknesses. So, I'm curious what they'll have insofar as the breathing gun not working on Buffy. I don't know. Bit nervous. I'm really hoping he wins. Let's go to Buffy's analysis now. Okay, here we go.
In every generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers.
I'm curious how
and was
they'll view
destined
the
to
whole
die young
skill
in
thing of
battle
all the
against
Slayers, because I
evil,
never agree
passing
with
their
that.
powers on to the next
Like, she
Slayer,
has in
and the next,
dreams,
and
but
so
she doesn't
that is,
draw upon
until
her
the
herself in
newest Slayer
combat.
would change everything. Buffy and Summers.
Not exactly the first
F
girl
by
you think is
four.
the savior of humanity.
Level of
Buffy's only
interest, death
goals in
count,
life
please.
were, in her own
2?
words,
I mean
graduate from high
2.
school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick
Has she
appeared and
seriously
revealed
not
her
killed
destiny.
Like,
more
total
than
bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in
2
the
people?
arts of vampire slaying, and she became
Oh,
so
I'm guessing
efficient that
vampires or whatever don't
she
count.
burned down her school. Whoops.
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander.
I don't really understand what people
Buffy and her
dislike
Scooby
about
gang
him,
would
though I don't
battle
really
a
care that much.
never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never-ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a
Fair
variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of
Crossbow,
course,
blah, blah,
sometimes
blah,
dipped in
blah,
Gorgon venom that
glove,
can turn you to stone.
razor
Though she's
blade.
also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu
Might have
only
more skill,
masters
worry
can learn
about
a thing
that.
or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster
Red, sorry.
into the air and, smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrilion's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight
that's
blindfolded, but
pretty
if she is
big.
injured, she heals fast enough to be
Might be annoying. Hopefully not. Healing, martial arts, quarters trance, slayer mode, resistance to hypnosis, clairvoyance, poisons, physical possession, soul manipulation, and memory manipulation.
totally
Cool.
fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining
Might
also
be
drains
annoying
magical
for
energy.
later.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic
Usually they
makes
don't
her
really know
weirdly
resistances.
resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she
Fair.
felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight, and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of
Buffy
every
can
battle
tap-
a Slayer
Buffy can tap in her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking, sense danger in advance, and fight at her full potential even after her memories were erased.
has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of
Interesting.
their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional
That was
hole,
our
A
recent
glory hole,
image
if you will.
in the
Buffy
blog,
sacrificed
the original one
herself to
that I
save
was working
the
on.
universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless
Wonder what that
immensely
is.
powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel,
That's-
who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the first evil, literally the embodiment
You
of
gotta be
all
kidding me.
evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and
They're gonna
stronger
have her
baddies,
stronger.
Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The, Slayer safe.
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons. The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, don't really know what else to say here, but they're probably gonna have her win. The notes they gave on strength would likely put her at an advantage, even if I believed those examples were outliers. But they're going to use them, so Buffy will be physically stronger. They'll probably tie speed and give Buffy skill based on the Slayer thing, and from that point, they made it seem like Buffy would resist a lot of Blade's arsenal. And then they'll probably give Blade abilities, and they didn't really give anything from him from the games, despite being a soft comp, and various other things. So I'm rooting for Blade. I hope he wins, but at this point, I don't expect him to. I'm sorry, Blade. Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for all
live
the...
action death battle!
Cool. Blade, please win. Oh, nice set pieces and characters and whatnot. Well, there's Blade.
We were kings. long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she... That's just the start.
Oh, Hellfire Shotgun. That's funny. Interesting starting. Still a lot left in the video, so I'm assuming it's going to be a long fight. Really good step up from the previous fights. Is that Liam? Or someone? I don't know. Cool. Oh, so that's why they're gonna fight. Come on, Blade, let's see what you got.
Shoot's just a kid!
Not anymore.
Just from the way it started, they're gonna probably have Buffy winning. Good choreography and such. Good music.
You want your damn line?
Oh, interesting. What the? Okay, Is that bloodlust or what? Oh, I guess greater strength or whatever. Skill?
There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Skill, I suppose. They're gonna have Buffy pick up the glasses when they're done. There's no way it would be around for this long if not. Scythe. What? Oh. Come on, Blade. Come on, please. Prove me wrong, please, Blade.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Blade, come on, please. Blade. Blade, please. Blade, come on, please. No. No, they're gonna have a disadvantage. Just gotta reverse it. No, no, no. No. Dang it.
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
Figures.
Hey-yo! To be Blade-tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than
Yeah,
Blade.
that's totally.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
That's
Let's break this down
totally
into 4 categories.
needful.
First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought,
Buffy scales to nearly a dozen power feats across her media that exceed any of Blade's scaling. In Chaos Blades, Buffy's sword Hope's dagger harmed the god of evil, dispersing his consciousness across all dimensions of reality.
Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston, to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles. A city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a bomb that could blow up Harlem, but that's significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams.
Blade scales to Cyclops and Daredevil, who are stayed to react in nanoseconds, while Buffy scales to Oz, who is stayed to react in micromilliseconds. Both statements are likely hyperbolic and would be equal to each other regardless.
But that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and
Boy thinks armor ability would not resist the Slayer's scythe spatial cutting or power absorption, while his ability to burn anyone who feels fear hurts Silver Surfer. Buffy's supernatural courage would resist this, so of course it would.
immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal...
While Blade knows that Buffy let's be real, he hasn't read the novels.
Experience. Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and
The Shadow Demon is described as mist and smoke, and Buffy repelled it from entering her body. She also be her version of Dracula, who could turn to mist by timing her strikes between his shapeshifting.
exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's
Besides powers mean Buffy can't be sealed away and can resist the magic nullification of Blade's Atlantean swords.
organ venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him.
The breathing gun homing bullets have been stopped before light by Madcap. The gun also can't hurt holy beings. Given Buffy's powers are angelic in the novels, the gun may not work against her at all.
Or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium
Right,
sword.
because surely she's done that.
Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and
Never
since
used
the
that in
Scythe could
combat, but
kill
whatever.
Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, let's see what's
Next
next.
time on Death Battle.
Huh? Dante? Wait, is that Dante?
Subscribe
Oh!
and as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
That's interesting. Didn't know they would go for that, or anything else, actually. I thought they would do a Kickstarter matchup or something other than that. Seems like a weird time to do it, but... I'm not really that interested, to be honest. More Final Fantasy stuff is cool, I guess. Dante coming back is alright. Mainly pissed that Blade lost. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff they brought up, and how the semi-comps seem to benefit Buffy more than that because they didn't give Blade his abilities from the games. But I don't really care at this point. I kind of expected it after seeing the analysis segments and seeing how they were going to screw him over. You know, it's not their intention, but I do not agree. It was a really good fight, though. Really good episode. Now to see Buffy's fanboys be proven right over stuff that doesn't matter. Sorry if I've been Debbie Downer or not talked as much or been as happy or whatever. It's just the voice thing. Should be better next episode, and I'll see you when that happens. Have a good day, y'all. God bless. Bye.